Welcome to the POV Hamilton podcast. Each episode, we're sharing a unique point of view and exploring what makes this city great. Hamilton isn't just a steel city, it's a music city too. And in our thriving arts sector, there are amazing stories of transformation and resilience waiting to be discovered. Here's whose point of view you'll be listening to today.
Welcome to a special edition of the POV Hamilton podcast. I'm your guest host, Tony Falgaris, and with December being a time of giving, we have a very special guest here today. We have J.R. Diggs, television host, podcast host, philanthropist, and of course, the brainchild of the J.R. Diggs Acoustic Christmas Concert. Welcome, J.R.
Wow. I literally, for sure, could not have said it better or in that way at all. Thank you very much.
We're going to jump right into it, especially with December being the time of giving. Talk to me about the J.R. Diggs Acoustic Christmas Concert for people who don't know what it is, and with it ultimately being celebrating charitable work in Hamilton.
This December 23rd, we will be celebrating 15 years, a decade and a half, of Hamilton holiday fundraising. So I'm very proud of that and humbled by it and amazed that it's become what it is now in this community. And couldn't obviously have done it without all my amazing and talented, big-hearted pals who know how to play music. And some of them are in very popular bands, which has definitely helped elevate this concert. Max Kerman of the Arkells has never missed, and he might be the only one that's never missed. He missed the very first one because I didn't know Max that well then. Trues and the guys in the Dirty Nil, Mike Treblecock of the Killjoys. There's just the list goes on and on and on. And what happened at some point was we were all getting together, trying to raise some money and awareness for these different charities and celebrating donations that were being made to different charities. And I started inviting some of our other pals from outside of Hamilton and sprinkling in some guests that would pop in to help us out. So Randy Bachman, Peter and Leah from July Talk, Brett Emmons from Glorious Sons, The Beaches, Tim Hicks he's a big country star. I hate doing this, but I should have written all this down. I'm going to miss people. It's all on jrdiggs.com. There's a list of everybody. But the point is that we all get together. We're a bunch of friends just trying to do some good and have been lucky enough to meet a bunch of other people that want to do good. And it's a celebration of donations that are made to so many different charities over the year. And I'm just very proud we're at this point where we're talking about a decade and a half of it.
With all of the talent that you have coming on stage, global talent that, these are big name acts that you have.
Yeah, all the guys from Sum 41 showed up last year. They're another. I said I'm going to forget some people, like huge international talent. Yeah.
It could be easy to kind of like blow this up and, go to Toronto or go to different cities. The thing that's special about it, and it's a special thing in Hamilton. Yeah. So can you talk to me about that and why for you it's meaningful and it's special to keep it in Hamilton, and as the event gets bigger, like why is this a special event in Hamilton?
Yeah, it would never happen anywhere else other than in Hamilton. First of all, that's the whole point of this, is to bring this community together, celebrate the good that people in this community are doing. That's what it's about. It's a Hamilton holiday fundraiser. And yeah, some people come in from out of town now and again to participate, but they want to help what we're doing here in Hamilton. And people from, like other places still come here. I kind of split my life these days between Hamilton and Norfolk County. And now some people I know from there are coming. And I'm sure there's people from Guelph that come and Cambridge. And it is definitely a Hamilton thing that happens every December 23rd. And not only is it just specifically a Hamilton thing, but on purpose, it's been kept small. It started at the Casbah Lounge, which was 15 years ago. I used to have a TV show back then. I wanted to do something good for my community and just kind of give back a little bit. Carpenter Hospice is somewhere that is very special to me. So personally, I wanted to be able to help raise some money and give some money to the Carpenter Hospice. So I invited a couple of my buddies. 60 people showed up, and we sold out. We raised a little bit of money. It was not people that come now it's kind of a big thing in a small place. It's at the music hall in Hamilton, which is this beautiful place to be able to do this. The roots of this and the foundation of what it's been built on is just really intimate, personal, off the cuff, and it's still that way. 1,000 people now, but it's still a very intimate show, very random, very spontaneous, very unpredictable. I don't announce who's showing up. Sometimes I don't know everybody that's going to show up until about 2 hours before the show. So that is the magic of the evening, and it will always stay intimate. I know it's a bummer if you can't get a ticket and they sell out quickly, but for those who do, it's a great big party and a celebration of a lot of good that gets done, and so we're happy about that.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it special as well, is that it's doing great for a cause, but you're keeping it limited, so it is also a really great experience to be part of. Yeah. But it also extends out in the community and has that impact.
Yeah, the musicians, we do a big after party now. That's kind of like the
I was going to ask you about that, because you can buy tickets for the after party.
It's turned into like a big thing all on its own now as well. So that's fun too, and another way to generate even more money and to be able to support even more charities and to celebrate even more donations by people. It keeps growing and changing and not getting bigger, but maybe getting better.
Now, talking about growing, a lot of other charities and things, they have maybe one beneficiary. But the great thing about your concert is it has many beneficiaries. Mm-hmm. And looking at some numbers, last year you had 37 beneficiaries. Mm-hmm. And those 37 beneficiaries, divided over $252,783.23. So that's a lot of charities. So it's not just one concert for one cause. Mm-hmm. There's many different causes. Yeah. And one of the clients that we work with, Starwood Homes Community Care Foundation, I know you started a partnership with them last year, and they benefit YWCA Hamilton and Neighbor to Neighbor and Max Midwifery Program. So can you talk to me about how it is so special about what you do and how those funds kind of get relayed and how you're providing opportunities for these partners to have an impact on their behalf? And you're like the catalyst.
It's really, truly what it is in the most simplistic terms is those folks are doing they're doing good in this community. They're supporting, some beautiful charities that I'm all about supporting. So I love that they're doing that. I'm excited about it. And a lot of times the people who do that, and God bless them for the way they are, they do it with humility and they do it with the purest and best intentions. But it doesn't mean that a guy like me can't be excited about that and want to celebrate that and want to, hug them and high five them and do a cheers with them. And it might inspire others to even give more and do something for their charities that they want to support. So to partner with folks like that, it's a beautiful thing because it is truly what the Acoustic Christmas is all about, a celebration of good things that good people in this community do. And so to be able to do that with those folks is fantastic. It's growing into something even more. I think that we've set up a little side stage lounge for them. So they're going to get some fancy couches and stuff this year, which really just means they are in eyesight for me to make fun of them and goof on them all night. So it's not always a good thing to be right up front there. Again, just one of many people. Like last year, like I said, what a big number, over $250,000 donated to 37 different charities that we got to celebrate. That's what the magic of the night is. In true Hamilton fashion, we celebrate and enjoy each other on that night, the night before, the eve before Christmas Eve.
Talking about the magic of the night and having the musical performance, there's many different platforms that people can do to raise money. I think it's really special to have a live music performance because it brings people together. So what are your thoughts about live music for building community and celebration? Mm-hmm. Because I think that it just creates this energy in people. Do you think psychologically even there's something to be said about having live music and bringing people together and melding that with charity just being a recipe, a special recipe?
Wow.
I know I'm digging deep. I'm going deep.
Like, oh no, I got to think about this answer now. Things live. There's no denying it. We live in a world now where we're like always on our phones, and we can text instead of talk, and from the world that we just went through, where we literally couldn't even like see each other and things like that. Now more than ever, I think people appreciate like the energy and undescribable energy and the magic.
Yeah, the magic of connecting with people.
There it is. And you add music to that, and song and dancing, and that it makes something beautiful. Yeah. And so to be able to do a live concert is a great way to bring people together for sure. And if the point is to celebrate the good that so many good people do, what better way to do it than at a concert? It's 100% volunteer run. It's not an organization, it's just a group of us that do this. And the whole goal is to put every penny we can, like every nickel. Although it's a big number, like we just talked about, over $250,000 donated to 37 different charities last year. I never want to lose sight of the fact that there are some charities that would benefit if they got $500. It might be the difference between them doing what they want to do and not being able to do what they want to do. So we never lose sight of that either. Like, it's still just about doing good and celebrating that good that's being done. And so to keep all the money going to different charities is the life force of this for sure. And we're always looking for volunteers. So if people want to volunteer.
That was going to be my next question. For people that are watching this that want to be involved in it, how can people, like myself, get involved? Either volunteer, or how can other partners get involved?
Like I said, whether it's 500 or 5,000 or 50,000.
Or your time.
None of this happens because no one takes a nickel out of this thing. Denny Lou and Mann, the accounting firm, handle all the money, and they are accountable as an accounting company to make sure that they see everything that's happening. They donate their time to do that. So everybody just pitches in to make sure that this all runs with one mandate, which is to keep the cost as close to zero as possible, and all the money going to different charities. And people know that, and they love that. And so people do want to volunteer, and they want to participate. This is what a charitable organization or an event should be all about. It's just pure charity. So we do depend on people to volunteer, whether it's cleanup or takedown, or you might be good at an interviewer or an editor, or there's so many things that you could participate in. So please contact me, jr@jrdiggs.com, or volunteer at jrdiggs.com, and Liz, who's another amazing person who's volunteering to be the head volunteer coordinator. We'll figure out what you want to do, how you can participate in a little bit or a lot of bit, or your company might want to donate or support a specific charity, and you might want a table. We can help you bring more attention to your charity, which is also a part of it, bring more awareness to what that charity is doing in the organization. YWCA, so many thoughts going through my head, are setting up this year where you can donate coats and winter stuff, and they're going to bring boxes. First time they've ever done that. We do stuff with all these charities, as many things possible, but that awareness of what they're doing, maybe people don't know. That's what we want to be able to do. I want to get my famous, pals to get the word out, to spread the word of the good that's being done and how you can participate. So please get involved. It's a lot of fun, and we need as much help as we can get. The Knights of Columbus donated. They have 80 volunteers that ran the bar and everything last year, and keep costs like non-existent. I could go on and on and on about. Please go to jrdiggs.com to, if I'm missing people or things.
So whether it's financial, whether it's with your time, awareness, there's many different ways to get involved with
Absolutely.
It. As it's grown, and now you're in your 15th year, do you have any more long-term goals or aspirations for the J.R. Diggs Acoustic Concert, say for the next 15 years?
Wow, the next 15 years. Oh.
You'll be, 40 by then?
A little bit of inside baseball there for those of you follow along. It would be great to do this for another 15 years. And it might, that just might happen because it is like we are meeting new people. We talk about the Starwood Community Care Foundation. That's a new relationship for me. They've been doing good for years and years and years. I just started celebrating what they do last year. So that's a new thing. And we're already talking about, what about this? Could you do this? Or, because I've got ideas too. And so stuff all of a sudden starts to percolate and grow just through synergy and like-minded people. So I would just like to continue to develop relationships like that I get to just connect with people that inspire me and that I'm super proud of. I think that what makes this community special, and there's no question about it. Like there's a lot of other great cities and there's a lot of other great places in this country, but there's no question that there's something about this city that has a heartbeat and a pulse that's different than other cities. And I think it's because of people like this. So bringing all these kinds of people into one room. And that's part of it too. That's why there's 37 different charities that are benefiting and celebrating the good that's being done for those charities. It's not about just, Carpenter Hospice, which is like my, let's say, personal focus charity. I acknowledge that everybody has different ideas about who needs support and why and how and what it means to them. And when you bring all these people together in a fun atmosphere, in a celebratory night like it is, I think that more stuff happens and it grows.
People, this charity is talking with this charity, and other things might organically happen.
That's right. And it is rooted in just a celebration and fun, and it's that simple. And that's infectious. People feel that. I can tell you firsthand, like nothing feels better. Nothing makes you feel like some sort of power and energy and happiness like giving. It seems cliche, but it's true. Yeah. It's when people give, when they connect with others who are giving, it's an amazing feeling. Yeah. To be able to, if the question was, which I think I remember back to what you said, what is the goal? To add more of that to this community and to be a part of that and to see what happens because of that, that would be a good goal. I should write that down. That's a good goal to have. Yeah.
Well, we got it documented. And I think that the other great thing about bringing everybody together and having 37 different charities too is kind of like what you said.
Or maybe 47 this year.
Yeah.
It's just 37 were last year, but like 337 charities. It's just whoever ends up in the room, that's the charities that were supported. Yeah.
And I think you're right, because sometimes we can kind of get lost in our world when you know what you know, but by bringing so many different people under one roof to celebrate together, you kind of expand your world and realize, oh, this is actually going on in my community. That's going on in my community. There's a need here that I didn't even realize existed. So I think that's side benefit to it is, again, bringing it back to what we talked about before, is that awareness. So bringing awareness to the different charities, different needs that the community has, that maybe I volunteered for the acoustic concert, but maybe during the summer, now that I know about this charity that I learned about at the acoustic concert, maybe this summer I'm going to go volunteer for YWCA or something like this. Yeah. Or like an event like, I know Neighbor does the coldest night in like February. Right. So I think that's another, byproduct that your concert, you may or may not be aware of, is that awareness is probably extending all year long, that Christmas time is the celebration. Sure. And all year long, there's this need for it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you were I've got you here, because that is like succinctly put exactly what it's about. Melanie's Way was a group of friends that I know, and their friend Melanie passed away, and they wanted to support her and her memory and raise some money. So this group of friends, so in this case, wasn't a company and it wasn't a typical kind of way to raise money. They wanted to get a table. They wanted to come to the Acoustic Christmas, and they all came anyways. And so they talked to me about use the whole year, and together as a group, we're going to do a bunch of little things and raise money. And then we want to start like our own little foundation in memory of our friend. And that's what they did last year. I think it was a little over 10 grand that they raised together, just doing, their kids' car wash. And so all year long, they kind of knew that was the focus. And like you said, 23rd, they all got together and celebrated the good they did together. And I was happy to be able to celebrate that with them. So that's just one example of something you said. There's so many more.
Well, on that note, is there any last minute things you want to say to anybody? I know we've kind of covered.
There's lots to be talked about, and the history of this, and what it has meant to me and my friends and my family, and I'm just happy that we're talking about it still, like a decade and a half later. Thanks for this.
Of course.
Thanks, because that's part of it too, is continuing to spread the word, and I like letting people know how happy I am, with this community and the people in this community and the good that's done by people. And I can't wait to celebrate with them all this December 23rd.
Okay, so that's all for this time, POV Hamilton podcast. We had J.R. Diggs on the show. I don't think we could have done a better interview or a better show to end the year than talking about giving in our community.
This is the last one of the year and the first one you've ever done.
Exactly.
It was so much fun.
There we go.
Thank you very much.